Hello, everyone. Pastor Zach here with Wake Up, Look Up, a podcast where we're connecting the gospel of Jesus Christ to the things happening in our everyday life. And in this episode, we're asking the question, is our hope found in space? Humans have always been fascinated with space, way back, all the way going back to the ancient Greeks to our present day. We love the idea that there's more to explore out there. But here's what's interesting. I didn't know this. We haven't made a ton of progress. In fact, a Texas-based company just recently landed a device on the moon, and it's the first touchdown on the moon for humans in 50 years. I did not know that. I bet you didn't either. Something about time moving on makes us think we're making progress, when actually progress in space has been tough to come by. But we are in the midst of a little bit of a rekindling revolution of people being interested in space, less through the government and NASA and more through private efforts. It's become the new billionaire hobby as people like Richard Branson and Elon Musk race to build as many rockets as they can and achieve getting humans into space. I don't know a lot about that stuff, but what I do know is about the human desire for fulfillment and meaning. Why are we so fascinated with space? It's because there's something about humans. We are hardwired to want to conquer, explore, develop. It's part of what God made us to do. Don't forget that in Genesis, in the very beginning of the Bible, God makes a universe. And He gives us the planet Earth, and He tells us to be fruitful and multiply, to fill the earth and have dominion over it. God hardwired us to shape, create, cultivate. What humans are finding in their present day longing for space, the Bible's been talking about for thousands of years. It is what it means to be made in the image of God. We are world shapers, universe traversers. But what's interesting to me is that as sinful world shapers, we're often looking in all the wrong places. The great adventure that we're looking for, the great adventure that we're longing for, we don't have to try to get to space to fulfill. The great adventure that we're longing for is actually the story of the Bible. It's the story of God making all things new. That's the mission of King Jesus, who after He rose from the dead, ascended into heaven, seated Himself on the throne of heaven, and at the end of the book of Revelation says, "Behold, I am," not I will, one day, I am now, and I will continue. I am making all things new. Jesus isn't just declaring what He's doing, He's inviting us to participate. That the mission of God is to reshape our world into the way God designed it. It's to invite heaven to break through in the here and now, to see more and more of God's redemptive purposes spread around our world. This is actually what gives not just our lives meaning, but our work, our families, our recreation. That what Jesus is calling us to be is not just world shapers, but redemptive world shapers. So instead of being fascinated with what's out there, even though that's okay, we should channel some of that energy, if not all of that energy, into saying to Jesus, what can I do on this planet to make the world new? How can I, as a teacher or an accountant or a real estate agent, participate in your work of renewal? How can I, as a mom, as a dad, as a friend, as a citizen, as whatever I am, how can I, Jesus, participate in your work of renewal? This is really important because I worry that a lot of Christians have this idea that their faith is ultimately about getting to heaven. And in the meantime, we're kind of waiting for God to do something, waiting for Jesus to come back, waiting to die, but that our faith doesn't have any impact on our present world. But nothing could be further from what the Bible is saying. We are waiting for heaven, that's true, but heaven is also breaking through now as we participate in bending the world back to its original design. So the world is full of problems. I get that. And it's tempting to want to escape into space, to find a new planet and hope that that one isn't as messed up as this one. But rather, the Bible says instead of trying to escape the world's problems, we should see them as the final frontier. That the work God is calling us to, the adventure Jesus is leading us on, is making this world back into what God had designed for it. Your work has meaning. Your life has meaning. Your dreaming can have meaning in so much as you find your hope in what Jesus is doing here on earth. Let's make this planet all that it can be today for the glory of Jesus and leave the exploration to someone else. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.